Hello, gorgeous humans. Welcome back to Leonie Dawson Refuses to be Categorized, the podcast. And I'm joined again today by my darling, my mate, my BFF, Tam. Whee!
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
I refer her only as Tam, and of course if you Google Tam you're not going to find her, so you can find her at tamaraprotasso.com.
That's me.
PROTASSOW. And Tam and me have known each other for we know exactly how long we've known each other, because my littlest was a baby when we met in person for the first time, and I just saw Tam and I was like, I love you, and then I just handed my baby over to Tam. And
she was such a cute little pudding. Oh my god, she was such a pudding.
So chubby, cute. So cute. So cute. So yes, we've known each other for a shit ton of time, and we've worked in a whole bunch of different businesses together. And we call each other like platonic life companion, because we just sort of we're married with awesome husbands who we are really into, and we also use each other as emotional support animals.
That's right. I'm actually certain that, I know my marriage works better because I have you to bounce stuff off, and himself just doesn't actually have to kind of deal with that bit of me.
With all of that, it takes a village. It takes a village to be a human. It really does.
It does.
Should we tell them what we did yesterday that we thought was hilarious?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, okay.
Go on.
So
pleased with ourselves.
I was so chuffed. It went in a really strange direction, but we were just saying to each other, we are so grateful for each other's friendship, and just love each other so much. And then we also think fuck, what if I don't have this person? What the fuck am I gonna do? And then we started fretting about what would happen if one of us died, because we don't live near each other.
The fear is real. Life, it's fragile.
It's big stuff. And so then we actually made a plan on how we would effectively communicate our deaths to each other, and emergency contact plan, and Tam's number is in my safe with all my estate planning, and we are a lot.
We're on it. We're onto it, and it feels much more secure now, I have to say. It's
He's golden. And he's golden. My spreadsheet's been updated. My when I die spreadsheet has been updated with specific instructions.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yes.
So funny.
It is so funny. I have a session coming up tomorrow where I'm updating all of mine. Like I said, I've got it's planned in. I have my accountability set up so I do this thing.
I'm so into this. You're going to do your business estate planning, do all your document with a friend on the phone. Right. That's amazing.
Yep. Well, she does hers.
Oh,
yes.
Well.
Yeah. It's a session where both of us are going to get this done. And but your number is with my husband to let you know with instructions.
We're so thrilled with ourselves.
The look on his face. I'm like, so if I die, would you please inform Leonie?
We've discussed this in great detail, and
it's important to let them know.
Yeah.
Please, because it's one of my wishes that this happens. The poor man, I'm sure he was prepared, but he knows now. He knows.
He does. Will they remember when they have to be forced to live without these magnificent humans? I don't know, but we've said it. We've got it in the documents.
Yep. Well, that's all we can do, isn't it?
That's all we can do, love. All we can do, love. These trying times. So we and Tam could talk shit forever. And we are. That's actually what we're working towards. But the purpose of this podcast episode is to answer more questions from all you lot. And if you've got a question that you want answered in the podcast, feel free to email support@leoniedawson.com and we'll add it and answer it in an upcoming episode. Yay! So, Tam,
fantastic. I have the list of questions for Q&A podcast.
You are in power.
I have it. Would you like the first question?
Oh, please.
Okay, you ready?
Yes,
so,
batter up.
It's Jenny. Jenny asks, what's the best way to market a new podcast?
Oh, I haven't thought about this. Okay, so the way that you would market anything, absolutely fucking anything on this planet, and that's a piece of paper. And then on one side of the piece of paper, you write, like, who are the people that would be interested in this? You know, they mums with really saggy boobs, because sign me up. Are they like women entrepreneurs? Blah, blah, blah. Write down like what they are. And then I want you to write a list of all the places they could be hanging out. Like, what other podcasts do they listen to? What books have they read? What associations are they in? What groups do they frequent? Where do they hang out online? Where do they hang out offline? And how can you get in front of them? That is like the basis of a marketing plan, is like, who are your people? Where are they hanging out? How can you get in front of them? So, you know, because you're in podcast world, you're definitely looking for people who like listening to podcasts. And so you would want to be like appearing on other people's podcasts as well. And thinking more for like, and making sure that when you talk about your podcast, you're talking about things that people are Googling. So when they look for podcast on such and such a term, or, you know, for that person, they will find it. So that's what I would do.
Nice.
Would you do anything differently from that, Tambo?
No, not particularly. I mean, that beginning bit with the two sides of your piece of paper, like that's kind of the basis of any marketing plan that you would be thinking about. Like, you know, whether it's podcasts or courses or your new offering or, you know, your new one-to-one, whatever you're doing, like, you need to know all that stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, so Jenny, I hope that helps. Shivani asks, now this one's a bit of a long question, but I think, you know, I'm just going to read the whole thing and then we can do it in parts if we need to.
Yeah.
So, what are the hot topics for online courses? Everyone talks about a formula for success. You don't seem to follow it and are super successful. Why? How long do you give it before you know a course is unsuccessful? Are there any signs? And is it best just to keep launching the same product or new ones? So,
yeah,
what are hot topics? Everyone talks about a formula for success.
You don't have one.
You don't seem to follow it, and it's super successful. Why? Why is that, Leonie? Goodness gracious, why?
It really makes me laugh. Like, there's this formula to success. You don't follow it. How come? And also, how come you're successful when you don't?
I think it goes really well from the marketing plan of the first question, because essentially, you know where your people are, you know where they're hanging out.
It's true.
You get yourself in front of them. And
I know exactly who my people are. And like, it's actually at the point now where sometimes, you know, I'll get recognized up the street or whatever. And it's as they're coming towards me, my husband will say, it's one of your people, because we can tell by the way that they dress. So before, like, if they just like start making eye contact and start coming towards us, Chris is like, it's one of your people. So yeah, I can usually tell, like, I know what my people look like. And I know what they're interested in, and I know where they're hanging out. And, you know, I did that piece of that page. I remember doing it back in 2010, I think, on just a scrap piece of paper. That was like the first year when I was like the main breadwinner and really needed to, make cash, and just like, fuck, let's do this fucking thing. And so I had that piece of paper and I just wrote down where, what my people were into, where they're hanging out, how I could possibly get in front of them. And whenever I got to do some work, I would look at that piece of paper and start crossing things off as I got in front of those audiences, as I came up with ideas to joint venture or partner with them. So, for example, one of the ways that I got in front of people was I emailed a whole bunch of these people and said, I'm creating like a compilation ebook called How to Be a Morning Goddess. And I would love to hear about your morning routine and feature you in it. And, you can send me 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs, include your bio, your link, what you offer, and a photo of you, and like a photo of you doing your morning routine if you want. And so it was a pretty easy ask. I wasn't going to take them a lot of time to do it. And I also made sure to say, like, I'll promote it to my list of, I think I had maybe 1,000 people on my list at that point, probably less. And you know what? We had a lot of people just go, fuck yeah, and jump in on that. And like, that's been downloaded so many times now. And it also wasn't like, I want to say, like, it wasn't like a super strategic in that it didn't up level to, I didn't sell anything from it. I don't have any programs about being a morning goddess or anything. I just knew that my people were interested in kind of productivity and rituals and stuff. And that way, when all of these people collaborated and I shared the ebook, it was totally free to release it. I don't even think I put a sign up like on it because I didn't want anyone to not download it. And so I shared about it, and then all of the people who'd collaborated on it would share about it on their social media or in their mailing list or on their blog or whatever. So that was a really easy way for me to get in front of their list and be a part of their thing as well, in a way that's like a win-win-win for everyone involved. It was a win for me, it was a win for them, it was a win for all of the people who got to read the ebook because it was really scrumptious.
So I remember that ebook.
Yeah, right? Like, it's
yes.
super cute.
Yeah.
I think I even made it like in the library, and the library was flooded because there'd been a cyclone, and it was just like, whatever, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, so using those 2 pages is really useful. And I think this keys into like, why have I been successful, even though I don't follow like a plan per se? And I think it's because of this whole perspective of doing a win-win-win and being generous and sharing with people and really building up that know, like, and trust factor with people. So I have people in my circle that, that buy from me that I have known online since 2001. I was in message boards in 2001, and like, they've bought art from me, they've bought e-courses, they have supported me like the whole way through. I tend to like my customers, they tend to be like people who stick around for years, decades, not months. Usually it's months.
That is now 21 years.
Oh my God.
For those people, because we are in 2022, and if that was 2001.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If my maths is correct.
It is correct, actually.
It is now 21 years for some people.
It is. And I mean, like, you've known me since like what, 2010?
Yeah. So, yep, something like that. Because I think I hopped onto your list around then.
For like when Goddess Circle opened up.
Yeah. So I was on for a bit before that, and then you launched Goddess Circle. So, yeah.
Yeah. Bless, right? So it's like, for me, I feel like I'm like, it's all about building relationships that last a really long time. By continuing to show up and continuing to give. Like, I have been sending out weekly newsletters for decades.
You can say that now. We've done the maths.
I have been like, I've written over 2,500 blog posts. I have I have this new inspiration library coming out, and it's got like coloring in books and worksheets and ebooks and meditations and posters and all the fucking things. There's so much stuff there, and it's all just free shit I've made and given away over the years. And I'm not saying that in order for you to be successful, you need to have been in the business for 2 decades or have created all this stuff. It's actually just about the attitude of it, of like, how can I turn up and serve people? How can I help them? How can I give them something scrumptious and generous so that when I offer something paid, they're like, fuck yeah, I will. That's amazing. So that's probably answering 2 parts of that question, but there's probably 2 other parts. What were the 2 other parts?
Yes. And yeah, I, on the free stuff note from you, I have to say, I still have a desktop wallpaper that just follows me from laptop to laptop, and it's a Leonie Dawson one.
Oh my God.
I go to change it, and then I go, oh, I don't want to. It's just part of my, it's just what's on there now. And if my laptop opened and it wasn't there, I'd be like, huh, what? Why?
This isn't my laptop.
It's the one that says joy is an option. and it's got the lady with her arms up looking happy.
Oh, so, I love you.
It just,
that's like, and what? I brought that in like 2012, I think.
Something like that. It's probably got a date on it, but if I click on through to my desktop, I'm just going to like lose.
Yeah, no, don't touch shit.
And it's just it's all going to fall over. So, okay. So the second part of that question from Shivani was, how long do you give it before you know a course is unsuccessful? Are there any signs? And is it best just to keep launching the same product or new ones?
Oh, good one. Okay, so one, the thing that you absolutely need to do over and over again is learn how to sell and market your stuff, because it's very hard to know if you're actually, like, if you've got the right program or not, if you're not doing a great job of selling it and you haven't done a great job of copywriting and launching and all that kind of stuff. So I absolutely recommend, and I think everybody in business absolutely should be doing my program Sales Star. That to me is a business foundational course. You absolutely need to master that skill in order to be successful in whatever it is you create. And once you know you've done a fucking great job of marketing it, and if it's not creating more traction, then I would like come up with something new. That's what I would do.
Yeah. And so is it best just to keep launching the same product?
Yeah, until you can say to me, yeah, I did a really good job of marketing that.
Yeah. Cool.
And I want to know, like, I want people to know that, like, there's sometimes that I launch something and it dies up the ass. And the first thing I do is go check all my marketing, make sure that I've done a good job of marketing. And if I have, then I just go, fuck it. Like, it's just one that didn't land. And that's okay. Move on to the next thing. But then sometimes I'm like, actually, the marketing wasn't up to scratch. And so I need to make that better.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Kate asks, how did you avoid overwhelm with making and launching online programs when you first started out?
I didn't.
Do we need to just have a moment to stop laughing kind of in a rueful and also very, very scarred manner?
Can you tell them how you felt when you were launching one of your programs last year?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I absolutely could not do anything else. I needed all the support and all the love, and I basically like cried my way through the whole damn thing. And also at the end of it, I'd gotten so stressed I'd given myself a case of hives. So that's and also that's with a supportive partner who was taking care of absolutely everything else. I was being fed. I didn't have to worry about laundry. The kids were on board. They're older, they're teenagers, so they were on board and they were being very lovely and encouraging and cheerleading and saying, you can do this, Mum, you've got this. Oh, you're doing so well. And I was still
fucking mess
out of my mind.
Yeah. And what did I say to you when you were like, I feel fucked up right now?
Oh, good. So it's all going well then.
Yeah.
Like it's, yep, business as usual.
You're launching something. Correct.
Yes. Oh dear.
It's sort of like, oh, how was the birth of your child? Fucked. Thanks for asking. It was a lot of work.
Call it labor for nothing.
That's right. That's right. It's not like fucking roses. And I remember my midwife saying to me, like, because I was whinging to her that I wanted to have an orgasmic birth.
Oh, you're so
It was so cute. And this is with my
Also,
second baby.
was
Like
that
the
was for your second baby?
naivety.
Was that not your second? That was for your first?
Well, no, like I thought it would happen for the first. I just totally thought that would happen.
Darling.
I
And
know.
isn't that like, how many years ago today, maybe?
I know. Oh, that's right. I became a mama 12 years ago today, which is
There you
very
go.
exciting, but it was bullshit. It was bullshit. As Chris said, like we were telling Starry her birth story this morning, and Chris goes, yep, it was a long day. And I was like, I think it might have been a longer day for me, actually.
Chris, you poor thing.
No, it
Such
was
a long day.
It was actually a very long day. And I get it. Like as a birth partner, they actually have to be very present and like supportive for a very long period of time, like hats off to them for dealing with it.
Totally.
Because when he was there, he was so present. And then, he would go take a bathroom break or whatever. And then I was like, well, isn't that nice? Somebody can leave this room. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
So my midwife said, when I said to her, I didn't have an orgasmic birth last time. I feel ripped off. I want one this time. She said, Leonie, labor is work. It is one body becoming two, and that is hard work. And so there's got to be some effort involved here, and this is somebody who trained with Ina May Gaskin, somebody who was like, real hippie, real spiritual, but she's like, it's some work. So now we're laughing about that. Launching is the same. I mean, it is less physically painful, I would say. And the recovery is probably faster, but it is exertion of energy, and it takes determination and courage and faith and persistence, and you're going to want to give up all the fucking time, and you're going to feel overwhelmed. And it's just part and parcel, really, with launching. Now, having said that, I actually don't get burnt out from launches anymore. I bitch about it while I'm doing it. Tam knows this. Bitch relentless.
Yes, can confirm. Yes. Can confirm.
Yeah, like, I can't believe I've still got this, 80 videos more to create. I'm gonna fuck my life. Why did I choose to do this?
Why did I think this was a good idea?
Yeah, right. All the time.
Good idea.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I've created 160, 170 courses now. I should know. So I bitch about it a lot, but I don't get emotionally or physically burnt out anymore. That's when creating a new course. In terms of launching, I don't really it's not a huge issue for me anymore, because we already especially with courses we've launched before, we've already got all the template, all the copy, everything to go. So I actually don't do anything for those. So if you're overwhelmed, you're doing it right. Just keep taking care of yourself physically and emotionally, and you will build up like a muscle.
Awesome. Okay. Now we have an anonymous question.
If it's a spicy one.
Well, yeah, I was hoping so too, but let's not get too disappointed. Poor anonymous. All right. How do you ride a wild donkey without the rest of your life falling apart? There's a couple of points here, so I can read through them while you have a little think.
Yeah, sure.
I love the wild donkey technique. In the past, I've ridden the wild donkey to great success. I've completed the project, but have become literally sick by the end and needed months to recover.
Right.
Juggling parenting, wifing, working, sleep, exercise is hard enough.
Yes.
Squeezing donkey riding into every spare minute was satisfying, but in the end, not healthy for me.
Yes.
My creative project was complete, but I could not share it with the world to its full potential because I was exhausted. I want to ride more donkeys, but I can't afford to get sick again. Am I doing it wrong?
Oh, love.
Oh,
love.
I feel so sorry.
Oh, we get it. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's like, I remember Hiraboga, who was my mentor for a decade, you know, especially when you added in a second child into the mix. And I was like, but I want to make this. I want to ride the world donkey. And she's like, Leonie, you're no longer a 23-year-old. You're going to have to work out a way to sustainably ride the world donkey without like just all the plates, you know, falling off. So for me, what that looks like is I don't ride the wild donkey all day. I ride the wild donkey for maybe an hour or two if I've got the time. And then I still take weekends off. I've still got like short, sharp deadlines. I do not sacrifice any sleep or any self-care. I just like find like a block of time, like 1, maybe 2 hours a day. It's usually not 2 hours because I don't have enough attention span. A few days a week to ride that fucking wild donkey, and you will make some serious progress and you won't burn out as much.
So I guess it's about boundaries.
Yeah.
Putting really, really strong boundaries around your self-care.
Yeah. And that donkey actually doesn't get 100% of your attention. It gets like the 5% you can spare at that specific hour of the day.
Yep. Very nice. All right. Nora from Germany.
Oh, I should say for anyone who's like, wild donkey, what the fuck are they talking about?
Oh, yeah.
If you Google Leonie Dawson, wild donkey, I created a free ebook like 11 years ago that people still fucking love and use as a way to create and finish projects in really short periods of time.
Yep, absolutely. It's a great ebook.
Oh, Tabra.
I'm sure that Zeta will pop the link in the show notes too.
Oh my God. Zeta, are you listening?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, right. Next question. We have Nora from Germany. I'm a young mother trying to balance family and work life. I would love to hear your insights on how to find clarity as to what to prioritize and how to find a balance between the expectations of myself and the surroundings.
Yeah. You know, like, so one thing that Chris, my husband, did that was really helpful for me in the beginning days of when we first had Starry 12 years ago today, I was really overwhelmed and just, I wasn't coping. I was not coping whatsoever. And he took me out to a cafe, the baby, and he said, can you write a list of like the things that are really important that you must do every day? And I was like, okay. And so I like started writing, and he did it at the same time. And so he filled out his list and I filled out mine. And, you know, like I got to the bottom of the page, flipped it over, kept on going of all the things. And it included such things as, you know, have a super profitable business, be a very present and loving mom, hand build wooden toys for her to play with that I using dye that I'd harvested from trees, and make healthy, nutritious meals for every single meal for my child that was all grown from my organic garden out the back. And just like the list went on in great detail.
Bless you so much. Oh, that is so gorgeous, but also, oh my God.
So stupid. So fucking stupid, Tam.
I had similar things,
similar
aspirations.
I know. We were going to be perfect Steiner parents, and then we weren't.
Yes. A moment for that version of us. Oh my goodness.
Salute. So I showed Chris the list, and he was like, aha, right. So this is actually why you feel so fucked up. This is a very long list, and it is full of like aspirational kind of living. This is my list. And he showed me his list, and it was like, it had 3 things on it: be a good dad, be a good husband, and be happy. And everything else could go fuck itself, right? And he said, Leonie, the thing I know about you is you really want to be a good mum, and you want to be in a good relationship with me, and you want to do well on your business, and you really love art. And that's all that actually matters here. Everything else we're going to find workarounds for. So, spoiler alert, I'm not actually a good gardener. Tam is, and I am like in awe. But I have a veggie pod, which is this very expensive kind of like hydroponic setup to make it all automatic. And I bought it during quarantine, and I have the most verdant patch of weeds that you've ever seen in your life. And I bought like organic seeds, fucking everything. This was supposed to be like for the blackest of thumbs, you can grow a veggie garden. No, I have shown that is not the case. So guess what? I just bought my fucking vegetables instead. And a lot of the time, I bought food that was already made, so I didn't have to make it. Yay! A perfect solution. And I still have very, very healthy daughters that are like way above their like height and shit. So obviously the organic gardening and 3 meals a day was not essential. So anyway, that's a really long roundabout way of saying that there's a lot of things that you think are important that are going to have to go fuck themselves. And the younger your kids are, or your kids going through teen years, as Tam's discovering, is like, you just have to like keep on slashing shit off that list and going, actually, it's not that important to me. I only have room for maybe 3 or 4 things.
Yeah. I have I had someone in one of my book writing groups recently, and her baby is 6 months old.
Oh, love.
And so it was one of those where she joined when she was pregnant because she was going to have maternity leave. And in her mind, there was all this time that was going to be there for writing a book. And I was like, and me and every other mum in the group was just like, oh, bless you. Oh, and so, but yeah, and she just joined in another sort of live round, and was like, would turn up to the weekly calls going, oh, I haven't managed to do anything, and every single mum was like, that's okay, it's okay. Is your baby still alive? Oh, good, well done, awesome,
gold star.
Good job. And you look like you're wearing a clean jumper. That's amazing. Like,
totally.
You're doing really, really well. Not that a clean jumper is necessary, but it's the icing on the cake. Like winning at life there.
It's like that Amanda Palmer song. At least the baby didn't die.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. At least the baby didn't die. And she goes through the whole list of all the things she's fucked up. And
yeah, babies falling off shelves and things. You're like, yes, absolutely. Totally.
Yes. Did I answer that question at all?
I think you did. And work life, like, I think there was a sort of how do I balance family and work life? And for you, like, you've got really strong, like, I just work 10 hours a week.
And then like weekends, I never do anything on weekends, and I haven't done for years, decades. Like, I just don't, and I spend an enormous amount of time either with my family or slacking off by myself, reading trashy novels and playing in my art journal. Yeah,
exactly.
It's really important to me.
It is. Okay, so moving right along, Shez has a couple of questions here. How do you keep yourself motivated and enthusiastic about your business? Firstly, that's the first part.
Oh, okay. We'll answer that first, and then I think
Mm,
we'll go into the next one because I won't have
yeah.
no clue what she says otherwise.
Okay.
Um, it takes different things at different times. And so when I notice that I'm not motivated and enthusiastic, then I'm like, oh, I've got to do something a bit differently. And that's going to look different every time I come up with it because I kind of have to like work out the root problem of where I'm needing some novelty or excitement. So sometimes for me, I need to bring out something new. Or sometimes for me, I need to take some time off. Or sometimes for me, I need to come up with a totally new project or challenge or a creative challenge or something to spark excitement in me because excitement is what drives me. And also, like income goals really excite me. And what I'm discovering is that like yearly income goals are great. Like I really like having them, but doing like a monthly goal is more motivating to me or a weekly goal.
Mm. Oh, that's exciting. So would you say that those 21-day sort of challenges kind of feed into that?
Fuck yeah, they do.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
just like we can the only thing we can take from that is Leonie just wants to be excited by something new.
Uh-huh. Okay, so second part of Shez's question is, I would definitely love to know what a day in the life of Leonie looks like and whether you classify dream time, so creating new ideas and products, as work.
Oh,
So
good
dreaming up new
question.
stuff as work.
Okay, good question. All right, well, I'll just talk through today because that's the only day I can remember. Woke up about 6:30, daughter's birthday, open presents in bed, a little bit of tea. The girls get themselves ready for school. Well, we'll just talk shit to them. Um, drive them to school. It takes us about 2 hours a day in total of driving time for us to do school run at the moment. So it's a fair amount of time. But me and my husband do it together as family time, couple time, kind of. It's just like makes it less annoying. Dropped the kids off at school and then went and ran some errands. So we like went to Bunnings, went to Office Works, went and got ourselves a smoothie, did a couple of other things, came home. I went for a walk because I thought, oh, I'll feel better after I have a walk, but it's like god awful hot. So I was like, fuck this, and turn around, walk back home, just like sweating. And I turned back home and Chris was like, are you okay? You look really not good. And I was like, it's just so hot. Showered, then I still wanted to like get a little bit of exercise in because I was feeling really tired. So I thought I'd pack some boxes because at some point we'll probably move. So I was like, whatever, I'll just pack. Then we had a really lovely guy come around to like pick up some free furniture that we put on Facebook Marketplace. And that is bringing me so much joy at the moment, is like because we're sort of like downsizing a little bit, and we've just met some really beautiful people by giving stuff away, and it's just brought us so much joy. So we gave away our old art table, and the guy who came to pick it up lives around the corner, and he's going to turn it into fucking electric guitars.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, so cool. So
Humans are so amazing.
they're
Like,
the best. The best. So by this point in proceedings, it's about midday. So I sit down, I start going through my work to-do list of what was I doing? I've got no, here, I'll look at my thing. Oh, I was looking through applications for my incubator, which me and Tam and Zeta are going to be running together, doing like a small group mastermind. You can find that at leoniedawson.com/up level, but applications might be closed by the time this goes out, whatever. You snooze, you lose, people. Um, I also created some videos for the new free inspiration library that we've developed. I started writing an email for that, and a sales email will go out about that. Not even sales email because it's free, but that will go out. Talked to my online business manager about one of the projects that she's doing, and then like an hour was up, and so now I'm spending an hour on the phone with Tam recording a podcast episode, and after this I'll just fuck off and go pick up the kids and spend time with them, and that's kind of it. If I have ideas during the day, like if they pop into my head, then they get just popped in my journal because my journal's always with me. But most of the time it's only like when I'm at work, really.
Yep. So yeah. So when you get ideas for new ideas and products, you just pop them in there, and it's not, then you think about them in work time.
Yeah. Unless I get like a full download, sometimes maybe like 4 or 5 times a year, I'll be sitting in bed just reading or whatever, or I can't get to sleep, and so I like download a whole program in my head, and it's just like fully formed, and so then I'll just write it out on my journal, which is always next to my bed. So
Fabo.
Yeah, it's not something that I intentionally do, if you know what I mean. Like, I need to brainstorm this now. Instead, it's like, oh, okay, hi.
Yeah. That really reminds me of Liz Gilbert in Big Magic.
Oh, yes.
She, you know, her whole, well, the inspiration visits you, and if you don't grab it, it dashes off and visits someone else. Like, you know, you get to say yes or you get to say no, and, you know, it's how it gets doled out. That's just what happens. So you get to say yes. All right. Okay, so we have 2 more questions.
So
we've got Rachel, who says, if you had to build an audience today starting from 0 subscribers, what consistent actions would you take to start growing quickly?
Make free shit for my target audience, and you know, make sure it's SA, like search engine optimized, and make sure that like I put it on Pinterest and things like that. So all of like the search engine stuff is like where people are searching for those specific things. So for me, like if I was being strategic, which I'm not, but if I wanted to scale really quickly and needed to scale really quickly, I would think about like, okay, well, everyone probably wants to know about starting a business, or, you know, like different software programs you could use to, you know, grow your business, or 100 ways to make money, or, you know, like some resource things that I could put out there and share, and just spend, you know, a good patch of time creating something really cool for people and then giving it away in exchange for an email list. That's what I would do.
Excellent. All right, and we are up to our last question.
I answered that so quickly. Look at me go.
You really did. You were laser focused.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow.
Just amazing. Okay, so this last question is also anonymous.
This one better
not
be
spicy either, but
why?
No, right? So, how do you know what online course to create next? And do you market research or follow your guidance-interests?
Oh, good question.
Next.
It's like a combination of both, because sometimes I just create stuff and people have no fucking clue or inkling that it might be something that they want. So I just create it. Like there's like the Uplift incubator. There's like, when I survey people never ask me about that stuff because they, I don't know, they're just not thinking on that level. So I'm like, okay, I'll just follow that idea. And things like, you know, when the pandemic started, my mentor, Deb, who does women's circles, she was immediately out of an income because she's a massage therapist. And so very quickly we put together Soul Care for Uncertain Times, which was like online women's circles to help people like move through that time of uncertainty. And that was really beautiful. So again, like no market research whatsoever. Now, in terms of like when I do market research, we did a survey maybe 2 years ago, where I asked people, you know, can you like spend 2 minutes telling me what you'd like to see from me next? And I gave them a bunch of options of what I was thinking of. And some of them I thought would be like, that would be the top one, but it wasn't. And then I also left them like space for them to talk about what they wanted. And so from there, I kind of just regard that as like an inspiration list, really, like, oh, I could do something from that, but it's not a die-hard plan. And it's not always going to get created in terms of popularity, because like I've just got to follow whatever I feel called to create next.
Yeah. And so I guess that does answer the how do you know what online course to create next as well.
Yeah. Combination of strategy and like soul intuition, really, and what's really just like making me excited to create it, because I want to feel excited when I create something.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's our list of questions for this particular podcast.
Awesome. I've got questions for you, Tam.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
I was just going to put the tick in the box on the document, which crosses it all out.
Oh, no, you can do that. God. Oh.
There it goes. It just got crossed out.
Oh, great.
So
success.
Exciting.
Let's have a moment. Ticking something off.
Got that done.
Yeah.
Oh, Zita's going to be so proud of us.
So, look at them. So productive.
Done. I don't know how she did that in the Google Doc where I click the checkbox and then the whole heading gets crossed out. It's like,
I've never seen that before, and I am thrilled.
I know, right? Anyway, gotta get your jollies somehow.
Gotta get your jollies somehow.
Every time you can.
What? So you have been, one, we've been mates for a very long time.
Yes.
And two, you've also been like in my business for a very long time, in terms of you've been a customer, you've been part of it.
Yes.
Like on and off for a really long time. What would you say, and it's just such an egotistical question and I love it, what would you say is like the biggest thing that you've learned from me? Like, how are you different from having like this much of Leonie?
That's a great question, and I actually have given it some thought in the past. So aren't you lucky you get my answer now?
I love that you've thought about this. Also, I'm not surprised that you thought about considering, like, our conversation yesterday. Like, I've given some thought to this, and I am very concerned about one of us dying.
Yeah, no, right. So yeah, I do reflect on it a fair bit, because I think the biggest thing that I've gotten out of just being in your world, so to speak, for such a long time, is just going, I don't have to be anybody apart from me. I don't have to be anybody else. I just get to be me. I get to turn up and do the things that I do. And, if I'm doing that marketing piece correctly and finding my people, then they're going to need what I've got, and they're going to be happy to see me. And it's, there's always going to be something you have to fix or deal with or whatever. Like, it's not a guarantee of a stress-free life. Like, you're going to have to launch and go through that, But I think it's more that I feel, because of your example, you turn up, you're 100% you're not pretending to be somebody else. I feel like I have permission to be 100% me. So that's kind of like the background of everything that you do. It's you. And so when 2020 hit and there was the pandemic, I was like, oh, fuck. I was going to be running in-person workshops sort of near where I live. There's a great co-working space that can be hired out. Like, I had this whole thing planned out, and like so many people, I was like, oh, well, come on. I was about to do the thing. Like, that's not fair. No fair, I'm calling it. Where's my referee? But I was like, oh, well, fine. Fuck that. I'll just get on to, I'm still on social media. So I got onto Facebook Lives, and I just did a really short live every single day. No matter what I was wearing, no matter what my hair was doing, I was just like, well, what would Leonie say? Leonie would say, just get on and fucking do it. So off I go, right. It's me again. Here's your daily writing tip, and I just did it day in, day out, over and over and over again. And then I went, oh, maybe people want a group. Who wants to come and join a writing group? Let's just, let's make a writing group. And so I got a handful of people, and we're still in a writing group together now, and they don't want to stop. And there's a couple of books finished and a couple more on the way, and then they're writing second books, and it's just this beautiful thing that keeps going. And to start with, I just had like here's my PayPal me, if you like these writing tips, just buy me a coffee or whatever, and some people did that and some people didn't, and that was fine. And it's just that permission to just go do the thing, but also always be moving forward, be doing something, be, don't just sit and stagnate and feel like, well, why isn't anybody buying my stuff? It's like, well, because you need to be in front of them, and you need to be, people's attention spans are so short that you need to then be consistently in front of them. Yeah. So that's kind of it. It's like permission to just be me and trust that that's enough, and get on and do the thing regardless, and be consistent. So
I love that, Tambo. Oh, and we should say, like, for people who don't know, Tam is a writing coach and a writing specialist and an editor, and she has edited 50 plus books now.
Yeah, over 50 books, non-fiction, because I'm bad at fiction. I get too caught up, and I don't want to ever recommend that someone kills off a character. It's really distressing.
Too emotionally
really distressing. I can't do fiction, but yeah, non-fiction, all over non-fiction. Goodness.
And so many Hay House books. I mean, Goal Getter books that I produce, they're all edited by Tam. So yeah, Tam is a book queen, I would say. And I you've got, she's got letters behind her. If you're listening to audio, she's got letters all over. So cute
on the wall. And you know what all those postcards are behind me? They're pictures of different bookshops from around the world.
Oh, you are.
Because a friend sent me for a birthday, one of my walking friends, one of my prancers, as we call them, sent me a box of 100 postcards. And if you're just listening and not watching, I'm holding up a box which looks like a book, but inside, when it opens up, there's 100 postcards in there of different bookstores from around the world.
I am so jealous.
So I got my favorite ones and I stuck them on the wall behind me. So
my God, that is so dreamy. I'm jealous that you have that. And I'm also jealous that you have a friend that gave you that instead of me giving you that, because it's the perfect present to give you.
I was worried mentioning it, I have to say. But I figured that you'd be all right.
I'll express my feelings about.
That's right. In an appropriate manner.
Yeah, so yes. And Tam won't take it on board. She knows that I'm a possessive Scorpio. It's like when I call Deb, who Tam knows as well, and I'm like, I'm your number one friend. It's your number one friend. It's not number two, it's number one. I must be everybody's number one friend. It's so ridiculous. And she's like, look, I might be your number one friend, but you're not really my number one friend. I do have other people. And I was like, no, that's actually not possible in this reality. No, thank you. So, I'm really grateful that you have such wonderful friends, and you deserve it all. And
well, let me make you laugh by telling you that when we set up my mum's mobile phone, and we were putting contacts in, I put myself in as number one favorite daughter.
Yes.
Even though there's only one of me. I have a brother and no sisters. So number one. And now every time I ring, Mum answers and goes, hello, number one favorite daughter, because that's how it comes up in her phone. And it is so good for my self-esteem, I have to say.
The affirmation, our love language is words of affirmation. So
yeah. It's so good. So good.
Oh, that's really cute. That's really cute.
It's just perfect. Anyway. So yes, I highly recommend changing your parents' entries for you so that they actually say nice things when you call up.
It's really cute.
First thing. Hello, favorite daughter. Yeah. Hi.
You have trained that puppy very well. I love it. Well, thanks for saying all that nice shit about what I've taught you. Like I feel very honored, and I'm so I don't know, I don't want to say I'm proud of you, but like I think I'm more in awe of you because like you always teach me so much about being a human and being a parent and having really good communication skills and really good boundaries and just looking at things from like a really clear perspective. So like the amount of times like I've left you like crying voicemails going, and then I did this. Or like when I'm fuming in the bathroom and Chris is like, you need to go calm down. So I go sit on the toilet and text Tam going, and you're like, you so beautifully like coach me. You're like, of course you're feeling like that, darling. Of course. And yeah, maybe like Chris says, maybe just take some time just to like chill and ground before you say anything to anyone, And
Oh, thank you. It's
oh,
all advice that I try and give myself as well. Like, come on. I'm always talking to myself, like, come on. Yeah, look, being human's kind of hard. Like, of course you feel this way. Like, it might be a good idea to not talk to anyone while you're feeling this way. Like, I have that going on in my head. So,
very good at it. Very good at it, doll.
Thank you.
Where can people find you if people want more Tam in their life?
Me, okay. So you mentioned my website, which is tamaraprotasso.com, PROTASSOW.com. But I'm also on Instagram at book.write.now, which is WRITE.now. And I believe I'm also on Pinterest, which is book.write.now as well.
Oh, posh.
Yeah, and
look at you go.
Hello, yes.
Hello, look at you go.
Look at me go. So yes, So if you hop on all of those, there's a way to hop on my list and blah blah.
That'll
blah,
be so
all
fun.
the things.
That'll be so fun. And for everyone who's joining us in the up level incubator, Tam is going to be one of the assistant coaches in there. And I was like, when I thought about doing like a small group mastermind, working with people to achieve like their next income goal in the next 3 months, I was like, yeah, I'm so excited to do it. And I also want to like create like bonus support. And also because like Tam and Zeta, who's my online business manager, they're so brilliant in their own ways and they have these other different perspectives and so much. It's just so fucking smart that I was like, it would be just so cool to like triple goddess it, and like have all three of us like, because then they get like a really wide and varied perspective that is going to work beautifully together.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that I really enjoy when you and Zeta and I chat and work together is the fact that it is this uplifting experience, like there's never this kind of, oh, really kind of silence. It's always like, oh, that is 100% valid. What you're feeling right now is there's a lot of validation. And I think that starting from that place is a really powerful way to move forward.
Yeah.
It's never nice to feel like you're being judged or shamed in some way. And, I think that's my hesitation about sort of getting support or joining some kind of group is going, well, how are these people's sort of emotional intelligence? How do these people deal with each other? What's that level like? Because if I'm going to have to be in there going, well, no, don't speak to me that way, or actually that's not a very nice thing to say, I don't actually want to be part of that group. I need people around me who actually lift up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's just something that I find really, really great about the way we work together.
You're right. Like there's this kind of like, we like to joke that it's because we've just had so many decades of therapy between us.
Oh yeah, a lot of therapy.
So much therapy. And so we seem to have like this base level of like, this is how we communicate respectfully with each other and in really empathetic and loving and encouraging ways. And so we have this really just seamless, beautiful fit where we kind of all feel like we have very similar shared values and like growth perspective and just excitement and, you know, all the good shit.
Yeah. And you know, like, it doesn't mean that we're just always blowing smoke up each other's asses. It's actually, you know, when one of us gets something wrong, we just go, oh, yeah, right. No, I did do that. Oh, that wasn't the best thing to do. I'm so sorry. I've thought about it, and next time, you know, if I did this, would it be better? Or can you tell me how to do better? Or, you know, like, it's not that we're perfect. It's that we know how to navigate those sticky points that just go, oh crap, stuff doesn't feel good right now. Let's fix this, you know.
Yeah, you're right. It's such a huge thing, like, you know, because you and me have been through a lot of business stuff before. And like when you work with people who aren't happy to admit that they've made a mistake, or like even like willing to look at it, it is very difficult. It like descends into drama so quickly. Whereas like I can't even remember like times when somebody's gone, oh, hey, heads up, I fucked this up. This is how I did it. Don't want to do it again. This is how I'm not going to do that again. And I go, yeah, wow, cool. And because I know you and Zeta so well now, I know that like you're, and I am also, but like we're all high achievers. And I'm like, hey, before you spiral, I just want you to know that absolutely is not a big deal for me. And I really appreciate that you told me, and cool, whatever, it's fine.
And that's always very reassuring, because as you said, you know, we are a little bit kind of, we're on the highly strung side of life. Do you
think so?
Where we can just, like, I remember the last time I fucked up. I can't remember the details, but I remember how I felt, because I was on my way to sleep. I was lying in bed, and I suddenly sat up and went, oh fuck, I have fucked that up.
I think I know what it was, and it was the cutest thing on earth.
And I was like, oh, fuck. So I spent quite a bit of time saying fuck in my head and out loud, because I was by myself in my bed, and I was like, ugh. And then I went and I checked. I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I got my laptop out and I checked, and I went, shit, yeah, I did that. I'm going to have to tell Leonie in the morning. So in the morning I was like, I have a thing to say, and I fucked up, and I'm really sorry. And I tried to fix it. So this is how I fixed it, but I won't be doing it again. This is what I'll say instead. And you're like, oh, it's okay, because I'm not really bothered. And I was like, oh, what? I was not sleeping because of this.
I know. I could feel that. I was like, I know how important it is to you to not like get things wrong. Like you want to get things right, and you will very happily say when you haven't got it right. And I know how personally you take it as well. So I just need to affirm for you, I don't give a shit. And I love you anyway.
But yeah, so anyway, we do own things that we think we might have gotten wrong.
Yeah. And that's like, that is like, I am so happy to get things wrong. Like if I find out that I'm wrong about something, cool, because then I get to be right about it. You know, and I'm going to get some benefit from finally being right. You know, I was paying some kind of tax on being wrong before, and now I get to be right. Like it's a fucking win. So I love being wrong. I'm like, because there's always money being left on the table wherever I'm wrong. And that's like either like actual money or emotional currency. You know what I mean? Like I could be that much better connected with somebody if I didn't have a skewed perspective.
So true. So very true. Oh, yeah. Oh,
good times. Okay. Thanks for this.
I think we're at time.
We did it. We nailed it. I love you, Tam. Look, thanks for doing this for me.
You're so welcome.
Oh, and I should say, anyone, I don't know when this is going out, but leoniedawson.com/up-level. Try your luck. See if the incubator's still open. Otherwise, sucked in. You'll have to wait for another 10 years before I open it. You check your emails more often.
All right, my love.
Thank you.